Welcome to the SJSU Green Campus podcast, a podcast about a range of sustainability and social issues that impact the SJSU campus and the broader community, hosted by the student interns from the San Jose State University Office of Sustainability.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the SJSU Green Campus podcast. My name is Grizel. My pronouns are she, her, and today I am joined by Professor Dave Chai, who is a director of animated short films and the program coordinator for San Jose State's World Re-Owned Animation and Illustration Program. When he's not making films or coordinated his World Re-Owned program, he is probably sitting in his office thinking about burritos or pizza. And then another guest today we have on the podcast is Professor Eugene Cordero, a climate scientist at NASA who was concerned about the future health of the planet. While solar rooftops and electric vehicles were great, he felt the solution often overlooked was in education. So he went on to lecture college students as a professor at San Jose State University in the Department of Meteorology and Climate Science. He has taught over 3,000 students in the last 10 years, but then thought, what if we could reach an even younger audience to empower the youth? And so the birth of Green Ninja, a climate action superhero character, was born. How's everyone doing today?
Doing excellent. Thanks for having us here. We're excited.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I'm glad to hear that. But before we jump right in today's episode, we'll be introducing Green Ninja, which started out as a research program at SJSU and began to expand with other partners, becoming an educational program for children. At Green Ninja, their purpose is to empower environmental leadership through a deep understanding of science. They hope that the community continues to grow and a shared understanding that education can be relevant, purposeful, and transformative for all students in ways that benefit society. All right, let's jump in. So now that we're in the topic about Green Ninja, can you guys just tell me a little bit about the background and how animation and sustainability came together to create this great project?
Do you want to start, Eugene?
No, I think you're let's go, Dave Chai.
Let's do it. So I think it was about 10 years ago, Eugene.
Yeah.
I got a call from Eugene and some of our colleagues in radio, TV, and film. And they say, there's this scientist, this professor that wants to get together to make some short films. I'm like, and people are always asking us for films. So I'm like, what's this all about? So I go over there. But then I meet Eugene, and he proposes this idea to create these videos to teach young people about climate science and about protecting the planet. And I'm all about that. I was then, but I'm more now. And so I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then one of our colleagues from radio, TV, and film suggested, let's call this thing the Green Ninja. And at first I'm like, Green Ninja, that's pretty weird. I'm like, let's think about something else. But they went with Green Ninja, climate action superhero. And then we just started working together. Isn't it right, Eugene?
Yeah. And, I remember very well the day I was walking across campus and I had this idea that it'd be nice to make a film like The Story of Stuff. I don't know if people ever seen that film, but The Story of Stuff is a film about cell phones and where that stuff comes from by this environmental activist, Annie Leonard, who now I think she's the director of Greenpeace at the moment. So and I've heard her speak. She's super smart. So I was like, gosh, it'd be great to make a film like that, but about food and climate change. And I was ready to hire some production company because I had some funding. And someone on campus told me, hey, we have this amazing animation and film departments. You should go talk to those folks. So they set up this meeting. That's where I met Dave and some of the people from RTVF. And I was like, let's do this San Jose State style. Like, why go outside when we have all the talent here and combine these faculty combined with these amazing students? So I don't know how many films we've made, Dave.
Yeah, it's tons. I can't even count. We have live action films. We have ones with puppets. We have animated shorts. All of them have a lot of just ridiculous puns. And they're just quirky and weird and just made with all the materials on campus. It's very homegrown, grassroots.
We have music videos. It's been and like Dave said, some of it has been shot with students from the radio, TV, and film. Some of them in animation, some combined. And I'm also working with some people. I'm in the College of Science, but we have some folks involved from College of Education. And then we have these amazing artists and storytellers. So it's a really unique, like, collaborative project where together we take the educators, we take the science, and we take the visual artists and storytellers and create what I think are pretty unique, compelling, exciting, fun, quirky, videos about what kids can do to make the earth a better, healthier, and cleaner place for everyone.
Wow, that's so cool. So when it comes to the videos, so it's for children, right? So do like the teachers from the schools, do they just like present it to their students, or how does that collaboration work when it comes to education?
We just put these on YouTube and we let people
Oh, okay.
view them any way they want. But we made some little teacher guides. So here's some questions that teachers can use and have their students watch the videos, and then they ask them questions. So over the last few years, we've developed curriculum using these videos as well. And it makes the science learning a little bit more fun and lighthearted because you have these crazy videos. And just last week, Dave, you'll be interested in this. I was with a whole bunch of teachers, and they were telling me, oh my gosh, they said, I sometimes don't want to play the intro song because the kids get so riled up. And they go, Green Ninja, Green Ninja. And she says, oh yeah, they love it. They'll watch any of those videos because they kind of got into the spirit of Green Ninja. And that's what we were hoping for. And to see it working in real classrooms, real science classrooms, and these teachers are teaching important, serious science, but they have the Green Ninja videos in there too, to lighten it up, to make it more student friendly. Yeah, that was the real vision from the beginning, and it's fun to see it happening today.
That's really cool. I think as it reminds me of when I was in elementary school and just seeing like Bill Nye the Science Guy pop up, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, he's coming up. I think it would be really cool to like see like more animated science videos, because I feel like when I was in elementary school, like they didn't show as much. But how long has Green Ninja been around for?
Well, I think our first film that we made, which was about burritos, surprise, surprise, was in 2010.
Oh.
And then Footprint Renovation, our first animated film, was shortly after that, or a few months after that. So yeah, I think we had like 8 million views on our YouTube channel for these videos, and they continue to be popular. So you tell good stories, and people continue to come back and find them of some value.
So Professor Chai, you're the one, you do the storytelling, you direct the whole animation itself?
No, not all of it. I've written a few things, but sometimes we have students that come in and write the stories, and so they come from different places on campus. So a lot of different directors and writers have worked on them.
But Dave is the kind of ringleader here, and there's no avenue that he won't try. So we said, hey Dave, how about live action? Because I've never really done a lot of live. He'd done some live action,
not much.
But so we were doing live action stuff with special effects, and then how about an animated series, and now we're doing some like games and graphic novels and other things, and Dave is just a great colleague to like say, sure, let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens.
We got to save the planet, Eugene.
That's right.
We can't wait for the adults to do this. We got to get the young people to show us what to do.
Exactly. So yeah, so we are excited, and it's been really, really fun working together. And the students are phenomenal. The students have done amazing work. It's almost all student created work with some direction, but they're directing often too, and directing us, and that's been really, really interesting, exciting.
So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, and we have graduates that have worked on Green Ninja stuff that are at Nickelodeon and at Cartoon Network and Netflix and all these places. And we recently had a Green Ninja alumni event, and they came back, and many of them messaged me and said that working on Green Ninja was some of their, I wouldn't say favorite, but really special memories, because it's a time in their lives where they were using their artwork and storytelling to evoke real social change,
Yeah.
Instead of just entertaining, which is important too. But
that was leading me to my other question. So the students working in animation, is them getting involved with Green Ninja, is it like of a classroom setting, or how does that work with that? Or is it part of the requirements for them?
We do all sorts of stuff. We have tons of volunteers over the years who just help because they want to help. But sometimes we do work it into the curriculum, and we'll have a production class that does 6 episodes of an animated series, or helps with this or that.
Oh wow, that's
we had a class last semester that helped with the graphic novel, and yeah, it's a ton of work, but it's a good payoff, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, fun experience too, I should say.
We hope so.
And then leading to the third question was, how does educating children about climate change help our future?
Well, we here at San Jose State, we all believe in education. And so it's kind of the cornerstone for a productive society. And so that when our graduates, when people graduate and someone tells them something, or they see something on the news, they have the critical thinking skills to think, oh, is that true? And do I understand that? And can I figure this out? That's kind of the goal in education. And I would say we've done a reasonable job of that, but we haven't really in terms of the environment as much. And so what we're hoping to do at Green Ninja is to help teachers and their students understand what's going on with the environment and not make them depressed about it, but more hopeful by focusing on solutions, by focusing on what individual actions people can take, or what other types of approaches can be used to make the world a better place. So that's the kind of focus, and that's why we believe, and we actually have some data. We've written some papers on this, done some academic research to show that this type of educational, you could say, recipe delivers long-term environmental benefits, like on the order of 2.9 tons of carbon per year.
Oh, wow.
And we published this a couple of years ago in the peer-reviewed literature to show that we should be also, in addition to investing in solar panels and wind turbines and those things, we should be investing in education because it delivers similar environmental benefits. Wow. And that's, so there is some kind of research that we've been doing as well alongside and within Green Ninja.
Nice.
But I think Dave could speak to, like, why and how it's affected his own students, and like in terms of working on these projects, and then how we envision it working, helping the young kids that we're working with. And Dave has young folks in his life too that been involved. Yeah,
we get all the neighbor kids to act in the shows, and everyone's involved. And I've had some students that worked on the productions that they say that when they're at home, they'll walk the light and turn it off and say to themselves, Green Ninja, and we just started learning these things. And I've been pretty environmentally minded, I like to think, when I first met Eugene, but now forget it. I'm composting, and I'm digging stuff out of the trash, and I'm going to the farmer's market, and I'm ostracizing my neighbors with their plastic bags. And
Dave is out of control. One time I was at his place, and he's like making soap, and he's making this, and he's making that. You're going crazy.
I'm very creative.
Yeah, trying to keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like when I was a kid, there was a series of like cartoons called Schoolhouse Rock. The teach I can't say this. Conjunction junction. What's your function? How a bill gets to Capitol Hill, and these things were they're just like commercials kind of. But I remember them to this day, and they were entertaining. And so I was thinking, if we have fun stuff that people like to watch, and they learn at the same time, it's great.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was mentioning, like I wish I would have had more, I guess, because technology has totally advanced within the last 10 years. So I think it's great that these videos are getting out there to kids too as well. So how can more people get involved? Some tips for sustainability, or just in general?
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, well, I mean, like you mean get involved with like Green Ninja, or just get involved with the whole movement?
Get involved with the whole movement.
I think I read something that was posted by the sustainability board. I think your office, you guys put those things on Facebook now and then. Yeah, I like them a lot. I mean, I actually click and like them. But one thing I saw is that sometimes it's overwhelming when you have the list of things you should do to be a better, responsible person. But something that I think your office posted was just start with something small. Just start bringing a spoon in your purse. Or get a reusable boba cup and straw. And that's a big step. That makes a big difference. And then you start doing more and more, and finally you're growing worms in your backyard and wearing secondhand clothing. And yeah, but I think little steps,
Yeah, definitely little steps. I feel like that has helped me too. I think sometimes we do tend to feel overwhelmed and then also just feel like, oh, if I'm doing it and no one else is doing it, where are we going to go from here, And I feel like that comes into like a lot of people's minds and they just feel like if they're putting in all the work, like what's the point?
Can I speak to that real quick?
Yeah.
I think also maybe, I don't know if there's like clubs and stuff on campus, but I know that when I joined the campus sustainability board, I wanted to be involved with sustainability. But then when you're in groups like this, or you're in groups with like Green Ninja or the production things, you find out that so many people, there's so many like-minded people, and they're doing all this cool stuff, and it's inspiring. So you don't feel alone. I don't know if if there is a campus sustainability club, or whatever, but
Yeah, I think definitely once you hang around more people who are also in like the same mindset, you definitely get to grow from that as well.
yeah, and your friends start asking for no straw when you sit down, and and you're not asking for no plastic bag at Subway, the little stuff. That's cool.
No, it is little stuff. It is the little stuff.
We found in our research that people who believe that even their individual action can make a difference, their behaviors and lifestyle was much greener than people who said, no, and what can one person do?
Mhm.
So, but I think what's been exciting for me is to realize that even when you do that one thing, it's not an isolated. People notice that, like when you say, "Oh no, I don't need a straw," or "Today I brought my own spoon to the boba place," or something. They're like, "What?" But people notice that, and that's what we're trying to inspire: is some leadership, some confidence that I can do this. It makes me feel good, and I'm making a difference, and it's going to be like a signal to others too, whether you want to talk about it or just do it in whatever your own way is. Like we need to move in that direction, and that's what we hope that Green Ninja helps with. And we coach our teachers too that work with our program about how to create that social norm in the classroom where it's okay to care about the environment. It's okay to say, I don't like plastic either. Like, I mean, who wants plastic in the ocean? Like, raise your hand, right? Like, no, nobody wants it. But I'm willing to do some things to reduce the amount. But we want it to be positive, and I like Dave's suggestion about taking real small steps, because all of us took a small step at one point, right? No one was like really born thinking about this, and so it might have been recycling. It could have been something else. And the university campus is a great place for that. There's a lot of like-minded folks, and I was on the sustainability board once upon a time too, Dave. And you just meet faculty in all these other places who are doing amazing work, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just used to go to my Duncan Hall 6th floor West Wing and just hang out there and meet no one. And it's really been fun to meet people on other parts of the campus.
Yeah, and being on the board, I found out that we're ranked in the top 6% of sustainable universities, or universities that are practicing sustainable practices.
Yeah.
6%. They put those giant signs on the parking garage for the football team. I don't know what's happening with this. They should be putting us up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And that's really developed. Like when I started, we were not in the top 6%, but a whole bunch of people in lots of different areas have been working to create your office of sustainability, to make it institutional.
Yeah.
Kristen Wonder is like, she was a wonder. She like, moved some mountains, and other people too. So it's been fun to witness that.
Now that we're in the topic of sustainability, in terms of Green Ninja, what are the next steps? What do you guys have in store for Green Ninja? I heard you guys have some exciting.
Would it be world domination, Eugene, by any chance?
Well, we're collaborative. We don't want to dominate, but
world salvation, maybe.
But we would like to grow into other states. So Green Ninja has a benefit corporation. It's a California registered benefit corporation, which means that our environmental and social values are kind of like upfront for everyone. But we are a practicing company. We sell curriculum in California, and our next steps is to move to other states. We want to go to Texas. We want to go to Florida. We want to go to the Midwest and to the East Coast. And we're actually doing an equity crowdfunding platform or campaign is starting, I think, next week, where almost anyone could buy a share in Green Ninja and be a shareholder. And so what we're doing is raising money so that we can compete with the other big publishers in some of these other states, because it is a competitive. We're competing with McGraw-Hill and Pearson. Like those are our primary competitors.
Wow.
So it's fun and exciting, and our other steps will continue to create new great content. This graphic novel thing that Dave created with our students is just amazing.
That's so exciting. I hope to hear about you guys in other states.
It'll be fun.
Me too.
So before we end this podcast, we got to end off with some burritos.
Yeah. I was waiting for the burrito conversation. So Professor Cordero, I think it was Destiny that we met. So not only for Green Ninja, but we're both burrito aficionados. Maybe not aficionados is not even the right word.
Yeah, we're kind of crazy when it comes to burritos. I admit it. My wife was like, sometimes it's only 6:30 in the morning. It's the first time you mention the word burrito. Like, come on.
I went to his house to work on Green Ninja stuff one time. And he goes, oh, check this out. And he opens the freezer and he had some iguanas sauce that we saved because he was going on a trip. So he froze it. And he also had some La Vic sauce. And he says, let's find out if we can reconstitute this and use it. And so he had a little double boiler, a little science project, and we tried it. It was great.
So the moral of the story is you can freeze your La Vic salsa.
Can and should.
And should.
If it lasts that long.
Because every drop is a treasure. You know, so my introduction to San Jose State when I interviewed, first day, I was living in Australia and I came to San Jose State for this interview for this faculty position. And a friend of mine who was also a faculty member said, hey, can I meet you for breakfast? And he took me to La Vic.
Oh.
And I had a breakfast burrito, cost $1.75 in 2002. They were pretty small. They were quite small, but they were nice. David's got me beat. David's earlier La Vic than me.
Oh my God.
But and I was like, oh, that's good. This orange sauce, oh, amazing. And I've been eating La Vic burritos for 20 years now. But Dave, you're longer?
I was a student in 90. I think it was, when I was a grad student. So I think it opened 96 or 97 maybe. But I've watched them grow up. The kids, they used to be kids that work there. Now they're adults.
Oh.
And I see the dad, the owner sometimes. I saw him at the Almaden branch one time. And I just look at that guy like, I'm like, yo, this Jesus.
Dear God.
Yo, like I'm getting on my knees. Whoa.
Dave, do you know that he's super nice to he's told me, because I introduced myself a couple times to the owner. And I said, I'm a professor at San Jose State. He told me, you need anything? Because he really values education. He says, anything you need, just let me know. We'll help you.
Well, they didn't let us shoot the video there. So
no, they didn't.
But we were saved by iguanas right around the corner, and they let us shoot.
Oh, nice.
That's where we shot the first Dr. Burrito episode.
I love them both, but I do.
So yeah, so we're Dave is the one who cast me as Dr. Burrito. I was reluctant. I don't want to be on screen, but I was like, sounds cool. And who else is going to be Dr. Burrito? So now that name, every once in a while I'm on campus and someone, because I give these talks to engineering classes and stuff, and I mention Dr. Burrito, and they'll say, hey, you're Dr. Burrito. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Come on. That's great.
So what do you guys say your favorite ultimate burrito has to be from La Vic's?
From La Vic's?
La Vic's or
anywhere. Dave, give us your ultimate burrito. What's your right now? You know, it changes, Griselle. Like it does. It does. So what's your favorite right now, Dave?
I like this one at Adelita's over on Kurtner and Lee. And they have one called the BJJ burrito, which has black bean, avocado. It's on a wheat tortilla. I don't even think it has rice. It was a very interesting. Oh, it has grilled onions and grilled mushrooms, if I didn't mention that. It's great.
Grilled mushrooms, my favorite.
Yeah. I highly recommend.
And I'm going to go. I have one in Mountain View near where I live, but for our listening audience, and in fact, I was speaking to 100 engineers today in our 100W class. Someone asked me, what's your number one burrito? So it still is the breakfast burrito at La Vic, potato and eggs, black beans. Just eat it there so you can get the green salsa and the orange salsa. It's best with the bottles. You don't have the plastic waste, and you're happy. And every bite, you could put a little orange, a little green. It's magical. And even though I missed it for a year and during the pandemic, when I came back, I was telling my wife, "Gosh, this is good. This is so good."
Love that. Oh my gosh. Well,
I want burritos now.
Me too. I'm already salivating.
I'm hungry now. Thank you both so much for joining the podcast today. I really appreciate the time you guys gave. And for the audience, thank you all for listening to our 5th episode of the SJSU Green Campus podcast, which is a podcast by the San Jose State University Office of Sustainability. To learn more about the topics discussed, you can check today's show notes and then check out our episode description to find links to a variety of resources mentioned in this episode. Special thanks to Professor Eugene Cordero and Professor Dave Chai for joining us today. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms at SJSU Green Campus.
And like and subscribe. Come on. Keep it green.
Subscribe and share.
Spartans, come on.
Thank you so much, everyone. Hope to join soon.
Thanks, Chriselle.
Thank
Have a nice
you.
day.